Canonically, the most beautiful woman in One Piece. Some people think or look at her as a bitch. But what she's been through, her actions and attitude are, in my opinion, 1000% justified and rational. Walk with me. Hello motherfuckers, welcome back to the motherfucking channel. Today we are continuing in my series of ranking the warlords, and this week is all about Boa Hancock, the Snake Empress. We love her, everybody loves her, she's an icon, she's a queen. Yeah, last week I did Buggy, the week before that it was Crocodile, I think. And the week before that was Mihawk, and then so on and so forth. But also I have other One Piece content. Go check it out. We're almost at 7K, so please like and subscribe. Let's get into this. Now we're going to start off with Boa Hancock's basic stats. Okay. Currently, Boa Hancock is 31 years old. Born September 2nd with a huge bounty of 1,659,000,000 berries, and is the current user of the Mero Mero no Mi, or the Love Love fruit. It is a paramecia type that can turn other people that she looks at, or, you know, whatever, into stone. I love this fruit, I really do. I'm basically giving Medusa, basically. But the person has to be like attracted to her in some way, whether they think she's beautiful, whether they lust after her, she can turn them into stone. So it doesn't really work on, like, let's say you're like Zoro, San. It might work on Sanji actually, but it doesn't work on people that are just like thinking clearly, okay? Standing at 191 centimeters or 6 feet and 3 inches. She is a big gal, big team. Okay. Born in the Calm Belt on Amazon Lily. I think Amazon Lily is a beautiful, beautiful island, okay? And it's full of beautiful women, so yeah. Okay, now let's get into Boa Hancock's basic timeline. Where has she been? What has she been doing throughout the story? Born on Amazon Lily 31 years ago. And when she was 12, her and her sisters, Boa Marigold and Boa Sonia Sander, decided to create their own little crew called the Kuja Pirates. And they set sail away from Amazon Lily. But not too long after this, they get kidnapped and sold to world nobles, unfortunately. And during her enslavement, she was force-fed her devil fruit, the Love Love fruit. And this was no walk in the park for these girls. The world nobles get up to no good. I mean, I'm talking about rape, abuse, just anything bad that you can think of, these world nobles were doing for these three sisters. But after 4 years of being enslaved, at the age of 16, they are freed through the work of Fisher Tiger. Now, Fisher Tiger did not go up here looking to free the Boa sisters. I mean, he really just went up there to free the fishermen people, but a lot of people escaped with the crazy noises and stuff, through the crazy noise and stuff, okay? Where they were later rescued on the sea after escaping by Granny Neon and Ray Lee. Oh, and Shaki too. Shaki was here with them too. But things weren't peaches for these sisters. They have these emblems, scars. I'm gonna call them scars. So having these scars burnt into their skins and their unwanted devil fruits, they really go into hiding. You know, not trusting anybody outside of themselves, and mainly really men, okay? Making her into the cold-hearted ice queen that we all know and love today. And that's why I say people think of her as a bitch, but her actions are justified. I'm sorry. And at times, you know, just get over it type vibes, but we'll get into it later. Okay, let's just keep going. And at the age of 18, she becomes the Empress of Kuja after the death of Tritoma. And despite her young age, she quickly becomes like a threat. The world government views her potential as a threat, where she gets her first bounty of 80 million berries. And after this, she chooses to join the warlords in protection for her sisters, you know? I mean, she does it for the whole country, of course, but really, like, she really wants that extra layer of protection for her sisters. She went far to protect her family, okay? And it just goes to show what kind of person she really is. Siding with the people that made you, you know, that you have these bad memories and trauma from, just to save the same people that also went through the same thing. It's an interesting dynamic. And now we're gonna flash forward to 10 years because that's all that we know from her younger years. At the age of 29, we see the Kuja pirates sailing back to Amazon Lily after some sort of like adventure or whatever, where she is stopped by a Navy vessel led by Momonga, I think that's his name, and she tells her that she is being summoned by the world government to be at Marineford for Ace's execution, which was happening a week from there, and she refuses. She doesn't want to go, turning everyone on this Navy vessel ship into stone besides Momonga because he stabbed himself in the hand, so he didn't get the effects. But he says he'll stay off the coast of Amazon Lily for a couple days in hopes that she will change her mind. But she says, do what you please, do what you want, you know, I'm not going. And when she returns back to her palace, she notices that there's not many guards on duty right now, and that's because they're off chasing some monkey that they hear about in the forest of Amazon Lily. She shrugs that off, and also Neon's words about going to Marineford, fulfilling her duty as a warlord. She just shrugs it off, going to take a bath. And this is where Luffy falls into her bath. This is like really nuts, okay? It's nuts to her, of course it is. A man on your island falling into your bathwater, ew. She's disgusted by this, okay? And Luffy actually sees her scar that was given by the world government, and she actually tries to petrify Luffy. But Luffy is a simple-minded little boy, you know, he's not really attracted to much besides bugs and being the Pirate King. He even thought it was Foxy's slow beam, okay? So Luffy's just, he's not all the way there, but he is at the same time. He's not worried about these things right now, so it had no effect on him. Then he tries to escape and ends up getting caught and sent to the arena in the Kuja village or whatever. And this is where Boa didn't hold anything back on Luffy or anybody that defended him, okay? Margaret, Sweet Pea, and Aphelandria, I think that's her name, were actually turned into stone for bringing him. They brung him here to Amazon Lily, so they were turned to stone. But after realizing that Luffy wasn't attracted to her in any way, and was actually sickened by the way that she was acting, her behavior, and she sends her sisters into the arena. Her sisters having these devil fruits, the Hebe Hebe model Anaconda and the Hebe Hebe model King Cobra. With these devil fruits and their hockey, they were keeping Luffy at bay, okay? Trying to just, like, keep him down for right now. But Luffy releases a little burst of Conqueror's hockey, and this is where Boa Hancock is like, whoa, we both have, like, the same, not technique, but power. And at this point, Luffy just wasn't playing around anymore. He goes Gear 2, defeating the sisters. But as one of the sisters' world government scar is about to be shown, Luffy covers it up really fast, not wanting anybody else to see it because he knows that it's embarrassing. They're embarrassed by it. And this moves Boa Hancock into tears, and these are her first steps of opening up, especially to Luffy. And then she tests Luffy. Would he rather the sisters, you know, get help, or would he rather have a boat? We all know Luffy is empathetic, so he passes the test with ease. And this shocks Boa, okay? And later on at the palace, Luffy and Boa Hancock come together, and Boa tells Luffy of her past. And Luffy is empathizing with her pain. He also hates the world nobles. They're about to kill his brother. He had to punch one back on Sabayori. So it's not new for him, but like, he listens to the story and is very, very just like feeling her pain. And this is where she falls in love with Luffy. I mean, how can you not? You know, Luffy is he's so charismatic. So I get it. You know, I never hated on Boa because I get it. Luffy's That's me. That's mine. And after all this, she agrees to the world government's summons, okay, and helps Luffy break into Impel Down. This was all just to help him break into Impel Down. She will do ride or die for Luffy at this point. And he hides in her robe, and once they get to where they need to get to in Impel Down, he thanks her. But she takes it as, I love you, or like she misinterprets it as, I love you, and this is real. I mean, she was already in love, but this is where she's like, she starts fainting and shit. Like, girl, okay. And she gets Magellan to take her to Ace's cell, where she cryptically tells Ace that Luffy is on his way to save Ace. And this is where she goes to link up with the other warlords in Marijois. And in this Marineford war, she is seen attacking both sides. Everybody to her is an enemy besides Luffy, okay? She's just worried about Luffy most, if not the entire time of the war. Even going as far as giving Luffy the keys to Ace's handcuffs. And this is where Luffy actually hugs Boa Hancock, and she takes this as a proposal. Once again, I get it. I love Luffy. Luffy is, that's me. I'm telling you, that's me. So I get it, Boa. And like, I get it. I just get it. I get it. And as the war goes on, she continues to be at Luffy's beckoning. Okay, like cheering for anything that happens, or being shocked and worried when something bad happens, glazing him along the way. Like I said, I get it. I get it. And after the war ends, where Luffy is just in shock, she gets a marine ship to follow Luffy, with her on it, of course, saying that she will bring back the head of Luffy, but really, in reality, she's just worried about Luffy and is following him to wherever he's going. And when she finds Luffy, she is very, very, very much worried about the condition that he's in. He's very fucked up, you know. Mind you, he just had the shots from Ivankov, a few of them, and also was in a bunch of scuffles. Okay, he was fucked up, you know, so it makes sense that she was worried for his health. So she decides to bring him back to Amazon Lily, where he can recover safely. And 2 weeks later, he wakes up. And when he does, she has a feast waiting for him. And then soon after this, she takes him to ring the Oxbell back at Marineford. And after this, she takes Luffy to Rusakaina with Rayleigh for their training. The 2-year time skip happens here for Luffy. And after the time skip, Luffy is basically Ubered back to Sabayoti to link up with his friends with a bunch of food, thanks to Boa Hancock. And she even goes as far as saying that she wants to marry Luffy, but Luffy declines. But this will not stop her. She is in love with Luffy. I'm going to keep saying it. I get it. I get it. And then after this, we see her stalling a bunch of the Marines so Luffy can safely escape to Fishman Island. And we don't see much of her until after Dressrosa. And after the Dressrosa incident, she puts a huge photo of Luffy's new bounty in her room at her palace. I get it, girl. I get it. I get it. Okay, so first of all, I said it was in her room when it clearly isn't. It's like outside of the palace. Like, looks like it could be in like a courtyard or something. But also, when I say I don't play about Luffy, I'm not playing like, I get it 100%. This is in my living room, by the way. And not too long after this, the abolishment of the warlord system comes into place, where Marines come to Amazon Lily to arrest Boa Hancock, because now she is just a pirate, not under the world government, you know, label or anything. She's just a pirate. But she's not really worried about these Marines. That is until Blackbeard shows up. And Blackbeard is here to take her devil fruit, her power, and was very close to. This was very close situation, but she is then saved by Rayleigh. Once again, Rayleigh comes and saves the day. This is like very much in his character, because then we find out he saves Shaki on God Valley. And so with Rayleigh showing up, saving her, the Blackbeard pirates and Marines leave Amazon Lily. And the latest that we've seen from Boa Hancock is she is listening to the Vegapunk message right now, and she is still worried about Marines coming back, but also she still needs that from Luffy. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. And now that you are caught up on our girl, Boa Hancock, what a story, okay? What a character. I really fucking love Boa Hancock. I do. But let's get into some predictions. Now, with these warlords, I feel like most of them will make it to Laugh Tale. I don't think Boa Hancock will go to Laugh Tale. I don't see a reason for her to, unless it is Luffy. I just don't see her being there in that arc. But, walk with me. I do see her fighting alongside Luffy in the final war. Her devil fruit can definitely come in clutch in certain situations, especially to the fodder or the, you know, just the lower level guys. But not even that. She has Conqueror's Haki, and we all know that Conqueror's Haki is the only way that you can defeat these demons of Emu, okay? But it has to be very strong, but still, it can come in clutch. Hers is not that strong, but it can definitely come in clutch. But the biggest prediction I have for Boa Hancock is she will definitely end up with Luffy. I see it. There's nothing against it. There's no other person in the story besides Bartolomeo and maybe like Chopper, okay, that like really go that hard for Luffy, like as a stan. She is the female version kind of Bartolomeo, but like she really loves this man. And once again, I get it, and I just see them being together, and I'm talking 20, 30, maybe 10, 15 years into the future. You know, I see it. I see that for them, you know, having a little family of their own. I see it so bad. Now, where would I rank Boa Hancock on this list that I've been ranking these warlords? I'm giving her a solid A, okay? I don't think she deserves an A+, because I don't think she's that integral to the story. But, she is one of the only warlords on this list that actually gives Luffy so much help, okay, and love, and like standing of it, like she stands Luffy, okay. So I'm gonna give her an A easily, definitely. Like, she's not the strongest, but I'm not looking at this as strength. I'm looking at this as like, this character is a good character, and definitely her character and her story is very fucking respectable. I just wanted to, you know, and I just want to say, I don't look at Boa Hancock as like a snotty bitch, okay? I look at her as she is in a male-dominated industry, okay? And with her story and the way that she was treated as a child, the way that she moves and speaks, I don't know. Like I said, it's rational. Get over it. But I would love to know how you feel about Boa Hancock and her story and just everything, okay? What's your vibes with Boa Hancock? But I guess that's it. Like I said, we're almost at 7K. Go check out my other One Piece content. And I guess that's it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Bye, motherfuckers.